Last night we danced the story of Otchika and Thachikol. Otchika is the cod. When you go downstream, it's known as Pondi. Otchika was in a lagoon, the story goes, is in a lagoon enjoying the warm mud and the warm water and the sun rays. And Thachikol that day had sent his sons out to get some wattle gum. The women were wondering what the two boys were looking at, the two young men in the lagoon, and they came over and looked, and he was this huge fish, which we know as Otchika. The young men went back to tell their father, Thachikol, about this big fish, and he immediately got his spears and his canoe and paddle. Thachikol went down with his spear intent of trying to catch Otchika. When the women woke up, they were in their animal form. The women from the camp, there was Kani, the brown snake, the protector of the land, Kalu, the kangaroo. There was the Brolga, Kerwi, in language from this area. They'd woken up to the sun. The sun was Naui. Naui had woken them up, and that's when they went out to gather their nuts and berries. In my father's language, women are called Winya. The women were gathering nuts and berries, looking at Otchika and watching Thachikol throw the spears at this poor Murray cod. And each time the Murray cod was hit by a spear, it would thrash up and the water would gush out over the lagoon. Otchika wanted to get away from the spear, so each time the spear was thrown, he'd rise up again and the water would gush up, and he wanted to get away from Thachikol, so he followed the stream of water, the gushing water that came out of the lagoon, followed it across the land, and it was meandering across the land with Thachikol right behind, throwing the spears each time and making this form, river form. The river here is known as Maloon. Upstream it's Dungala in my father's country. The women decided that they wouldn't follow Thachikol. They were wise women, and they decided to go cross country. Ended up at Lake Alexandrina. There threw the net out and caught Otchika. And pulling Otchika back in, Otchika was being cut up into pieces. The men had took some pieces back to their camp, and the women had some pieces of Otchika, but they threw pieces of Otchika in the river. That formed the many fish species that we know of today. We're telling what we think is a version of how the forming of the river and other species in the river, in the river. Matakupai is the platypus from this area, an important animal. Wungi from this area means people. In my father's language, Yembina is people. Jetja means auntie in my father's language. Waka is land, and Walla is water. Love to be able to be fluent in the language, which I may not get there, but hopefully my children and their children will become fluent in the many languages of their relatives. Yeah, their grandmother and their grandfather's country. It's important that they learn that.